All right, so obviously, the offensive line dealing with some banged up guys right now. How do you feel like kind of the overall vibe is right now with this group?
I think we're really process oriented, so we've just been focusing on that, focusing on the things that we can control and not the things that we can't. And we talk about it every day. You never know when your last play is going to be. It's unfortunate. I hope Emmett, is doing all right, and we've had some conversations just making sure that he's doing all right mentally. Outside of football, he should be, taken care of, and he'll be doing well. But we're just trying to rally around him and rally around the guys that have been banged up recently, and just continue to work. That's all we can do. We can't focus on the stuff that has happened. We can only focus on what we can control, and that's having a good practice today, getting in the film room, having a good day tomorrow, and then just preparing for Fresno State. We can only control what we can control.
What are some of the things that kind of jumped out about the film once you got to look at the guys in against Oklahoma State?
I think there's some things that we got to get back to the drawing board with. Just in terms of our technique, just being fundamentally sound. There's some things that we coach up that that they show their face, and with some of the youth and some of the new guys getting in there, it was a good opportunity for them to have a learning experience, see what it's like to get in the live bullets, and also get to hear and feel and see what's going on in terms of what we're talking about. Because sometimes you can talk about something in practice and you just don't see it until you get in the live bullets and you see it in the game, until you really understand what we're saying. Max and I had a couple conversations, and there was a few that he definitely understood, and we didn't have to say too much. It was an understood thing.
Yeah, speaking of Max, obviously kind of put in a tough spot there. Just coming a JUCO guy, kind of not a whole lot of years in the sport in general, but just how do you think that being a guy kind of thrown into a difficult situation, that he's responding and some of the growth opportunities he has?
He's done an amazing job. He just one day at a time. That's all we can focus on. And like I said, with him, just continue to control the controllables. You can't control anything other than where you're at right now and trying to get 1% better. And if you focus on that, we're gonna have a good week every week, and he's just gonna continue to elevate his game. He's a quick learner, so he's learning a lot of things fast. He's just got to learn some things on the fly as we go, and it's gonna be with playing time. So it'll be good for him.
Some of the obviously chemistry is such a big part of offensive line play, and with some guys in and out and due to kind of injuries, mixing and matching. How do you feel that kind of that inconsistency of not having just that necessarily kind of a consistent starting five has impacted the team so far?
I wouldn't necessarily think that it's impacted anybody too much. It's our job to make sure that we can put five out there, and we're cohesive. Like, I think that we have a good group of players, and there's a bond there. We just have to continue to work and rep out those combinations. Like you said, there's a lot of combinations that you got to work, a lot of different combinations that you have to work and put people in different spots. But you just got to continue to work those and gain chemistry as you go. Like it's like anything, it takes time and it takes reps, and I've been there. I can kind of relate to the situation we've been in, somewhat of a similar situation relative to health on the front seven standpoint. And I think they're doing a good job. They're doing a really good job of just managing everything and continuing to be process-oriented, which is all we try to preach. Be a good person and be process-oriented, and things are going to work out in your favor.
What's it like just coming back to alma mater and coaching them up?
Oh, it's been hot. It's been hot, but it's been good. I enjoy it. There's challenges in everything that you do, but it's good to be back home, and it's good. It's a different experience being up in the box, but it's cool. It's cool to get to see him run out and see it from a different perspective. I'm enjoying every perspective that I can. I'm trying to get as many as I can.
Did you know that when you were putting on the pads for the Sun Devils that you wanted to go into coaching one day, or is this something that kind of came along a little bit later on?
There was some thought process. Like, my junior year, before I graduated, I coached high school for a little bit. I was a freshman coach, so I kind of knew what I was thinking of after I got done playing. But yeah, it just kind of sped up the process a little bit with COVID and all that other stuff. But it's good to be back home. I enjoy it, and this is what it's about: sharing sharing with the next generation the love of the game, and continuing to teach them, help them get better, and hopefully get them some M's. You know what I'm saying? That's really what we talked about, and just trying to get them to think the right things, do the right things, be the right person, and it'll pay off on the back end. That's really just what I keep continuing to preach, and it's been a blessing to be back and have that opportunity.
So how did you end up back at Arizona State? I believe you had some time at SMU as well, but prior to this, another stop?
I was at Louisiana Lafayette with Coach Napier. We went to Florida. I went to Florida with them, linked back up with Coach Sale, and Kenny got the job. I called him on the phone. I just called him because he was here when I was here my freshman year. It's actually funny. He was a GA, so it's kind of a cool full circle experience for me to be in that position and see where he's at now, and then have that that ambition, that thought process of like, hey, there's levels to this, and you can level up if you put the right attitude, you put the right work ethic in. That's really how I work. Give him a phone call, and then the rest is kind of we're here, and it's been good.
What's it like working with Coach Saga?
Oh, he's great. He's awesome. He holds the guys accountable, and it's not much different than what I'm used to. Honestly, he's a great human being. He's a great human being, great person to be around, and he demands and expects not perfection, but a willingness to pursue that on a daily basis. And that's, like I said, it's the exact same way that I think. If you can think that way, put yourself process oriented, like we gonna mesh always. So it's been a good experience continuing to learn from him, and he showed me a lot of stuff, taught me a lot of stuff already. I'm just continuing to be a sponge with him and learn as much as I can in as little amount of time as possible, because you never know how this thing goes. It's quick. Things change fast.
Fresno State Saturday night, what are some things that kind of jump out of what they like to do defensively, and how do you think that this offensive line is going to be able to respond?
They're a physical group. They do a good job. Just getting gaps and playing hard. They're a gritty group, and they've got experience together. Like we got a challenge ahead of us, but we're embracing that challenge. Every week it's a challenge. You just try and focus on the next team that we're facing. I think that their interior guys do a good job. They got some veteran leadership with that defense, and they got some good players that can make plays. We just got to take care of our business and be fundamentally sound, and just continue to work on the little things, work on the cohesiveness, work on those things in communication, and we'll be. I have a good feeling about this weekend.